go, right?
Thanks for coming this side of town, hon.
I'm here today because what's happened to teachers and public sector workers isn't going to just happen in Wisconsin. We know from watching the Midwest that this is a problem everywhere. So I'm here in solidarity with my Chicago brothers and sisters, teachers in particular, but public sector workers in general. We need to stick together. We need to be our own media.
Why are we down here? Solidarity. That's the easiest answer. You know, we had so many people come up from Illinois. We had a lot of teachers come up from Illinois. Matter of fact, Ed Sadlowski Jr.'s sister brought up 2 busloads during February and March to show solidarity amongst the teachers and amongst public sector workers and anybody that's a working class, working person. And we wanted to show the same solidarity coming down here with their struggle.
It is an honor to be in the presence of the Madison teachers who said no. We are not the cause of the financial ruin in this country. Our $40,000 a year pensions did not bring this country to the brink of Armageddon. That's not what happened. I am honored to be with our brother firefighters and public workers from Wisconsin who did the impossible. Everyone said, we can't come to rallies, we can't go to marches, nobody pays attention. The world paid attention to what happened in Wisconsin. Taking away our ability to organize is not school reform. That is not school reform. Taking away our collective bargaining rights is not school reform. And transferring public funds into the hands of the already wealthy is not school reform. The CEO of Abbott Lab, I think, makes about $25 million a year, and I think Abbott pays about $16 million in corporate income tax. Wow. These people make more money than their companies pay in taxes, and we wonder why our schools are not appropriately funded. Our problem is equitable funding. Our problem is the will to deal with the reality of 25% of our children in this country in poverty. But we don't want to have that discussion. The no excuses crowds has no excuses when they talk to us. But when we talk to them about what they haven't done, look around this neighborhood. How many boarded up homes do you see? Why are we choosing to destroy the middle class? The unions in this country built the middle class. We know for a fact they're coming after everything. They're coming after everything. They said at a meeting, we cannot continue to pay people on this arc, and we cannot continue to pay their benefits. But I will tell you right now, the average pension of a Chicago teacher is $48,000. I want to say that number again, $48,000. That's the average pension of a Chicago public school teacher. 48,000. Brothers and sisters, remember that number. It's not 50K. It's 48,000. 48,000. The Board of Education allowed 47,000 purchase orders to go out without even any oversight. That's a number you can remember, 47,000. But they don't like research. They don't like evidence unless it says exactly what they want it to say.
In 11 days from now, every politician in the country is going to wrap themselves in the flag and honor dead firefighters. Every politician in the country will take one day out of their life to honor a public worker, but that public worker had died. It is time that the politicians of this country start honoring live public employees, teachers, firefighters, snowplow truck drivers, DPW workers. Now, we have politicians like Rahm Emanuel, bought and paid for by other people, and he seems unbeatable in Chicago here. That's where you come into play. The Chicago teachers, the Chicago firefighters. Every place that Rahm Emanuel goes, you be there also. And call him out. Fight me here, fight me now. You go to his house and call him out. Fight me here, fight me now. You go down to City Hall and you call him out. Fight me here, fight me now. Yeah, I got it, you got it. It is time for Rahm Emanuel not to stand with just dead public employees. He has to stand with the living public employees and make sure that those public employees have a good living and a good retirement. Thank you.
When the teachers did their sick out, is what they call it, but I hope historically they're going to call it a strike, and they walked away and said, we've had enough. At that point in time, they were the tip of the spear. Being the tip of the spear is a very dangerous place to be. It's very tough to say, we're going to be the ones that are going to stand up and say, this is enough, we've had enough. Have you had enough? Historically, again, I hope this is called a strike for these teachers, that they stood up and fought for what they believe to be is right. They inspired 800 students from East High School to get up from their school and walk away and walk 5 miles down the road to the Capitol. They had to have a police escort. 800 students walking away from that school in solidarity with their teachers. They saw very clearly that something was wrong. Their teachers were under attack. So they saw the tip of that spear and they wanted to join. Building trades, which is where I come from, saw the tip of that spear and said, we're with you as well. We have solidarity with teachers and building trades folks and office folks and non-union folks, to the point to where we have 100,000 people sitting on that Capitol lawn, 24 degrees outside, 25-mile-an-hour winds. That's what I call solidarity.
We must demand an end to the destructive policies and rhetoric that have eroded confidence in our public schools, that have demoralized teachers and reduced education for so many of our children to test preparation. I also see the irony in private funds being earmarked to reward your administrators when that money would be better spent improving our schools' infrastructures, purchasing innovative materials. Come on, Rahm Emanuel, you are more clever than that. You do not need a page from Governor Walker's playbook. I also see the hypocrisy that claims that class size or poverty doesn't matter. The hypocrisy that comes out of the mouths of the very people who send their own children to private schools. Those schools which never have a class exceeding 15 and maybe spend $30,000 a student. Give me a break.
I just want to recognize B. Lumpkin, B. and her family's dedication to labor in their 17-year fight for the workers in the steel mills here in southeast Wisconsin. She joined us in Wisconsin. Please give a big round of applause for B. Lumpkin. Ladies and gentlemen from the United Steelworkers, Ed Sedlowski. We are going to win this thing. Rahm, we're coming for you.
I had about 10 prepared notes of what I was going to say up here, and you had about 12 speakers say the same things that I had thought about. I don't know how that happened. They learned well. That's right. Let us learn that old adage about let us not repeat history by virtue of learning history. Well, there's a little more to it today in a complex society in which we live. We can read about history, we can apply it today, but the important thing is we should use it as a tool to change tomorrow. And that's the question at hand, and I challenge the teachers that are assembled here to take that path with the youngsters and who you teach. If they know history, we won't be rallying around an issue of laying people off just unwillingly. We're going to be rallying around issues that pertain to making a world a better world to grow up in. 1,084 bases, if I recall correctly, in existence for American troops throughout the world. 1,084 bases. Stop and think for a moment. What the hell are we doing with 1,084 bases with troops harbored there? Ask yourself that question. As a matter of fact, what the hell are we doing in the Middle East except protect the interest of oil? Those bums that are being now challenged by the people in their country, unfortunately happen to be our bums. We're the country that put most of them in place. We're the country that kept them in place. We're the country that kept them in place by virtue of armament, machine guns, etc. Not food and education for the people, but a strong-arm tactic. We've been doing that now probably for the last 3 or 4 generations. And a matter of fact, knowing United States history, we've been doing it the entire history of the United States, but not on a large scale as you have today. If you're looking about compensation for teachers, one area is to stop the wars.
Thank you so much, people. Please eat a hot dog, because I don't want to be eating hot dogs till the next July. Eat a hot dog, get a water. Solidarity, people. We're going to win this. We're going to win this.